The title of this manga is Kirwa-san After School and or no Koto ga Daikarai na Muda ga Kawi. The story begins as we focus on a girl named Kirwa-san, who sits right next to him. He ponders as to what she is always doing by herself after school. Although she seems to have friends to get along with, he doesn't seem to walk home with them nor interact much, as she just remain in the classroom afterwards. Her friends called out to her attention, as her friends bid farewell to her, which she doesn't plan on going home yet and immediately goes back to scribbling something on her notebook. As her friends leave her behind, as she always stays after school all the time, as our high school boy is curious as to what she does. He leans onto her and wonders what she is up to. He talked to her as he noticed she doesn't go home until late at night. As she finally noticed him, she starts sweating as he finally knew that all along she was drawing manga, and he compliments her for her amazing artwork. This made her freeze up but also doesn't believe him for a bit. After the interaction with Kirwa-san for a bit, they chatted for a while and she apparently draws manga as a hobby, but she is too embarrassed to let anyone find out. With that, his curiosity was sated as he decides to cheer for her in silence from now on. But to his surprise, he got approached by Kirwa-san as she smiles with a grim and dark look on her face. This made him question her as he feels special, but she explains she only wants an honest reader feedback from an ordinary person. He suggests uploading it to the internet, but she's too scared and wants to originally keep it a secret that she drew manga. But since he got involved, she became more furious as it all happened too fast. But she's glad that it happened. With this, she made him her accomplice. Although she doesn't drew crime manga though, he points out that if she want to keep it under wraps that badly, why didn't she wait for him to go home before she starts drawing? Her intention was keeping a decoy on whoever passes by, but since he found it, it's no use at hiding it, as she was too focusing in drawing, making her look like an airhead. She scribbles away drawing her manga as he looks at her, fascinated by this. He praises her in a moment of silence that he looks really cool when she draws her manga. This made Kirwa-san trembles as she became flustered and became confused as she can't really express herself right. He laughs at her, then mocks and compliments her for being good at drawing facial expressions but so bad at making them in real life. She says she's a lost cause towards that, and he basically said it's not hard at all as he wants her to try right now on making that expressions. At this point she had no choice as she made a smiling expression, which she looks like she just made a grin expression with her awkward smile and awkward emotion with it. This confuses him as he doesn't know what he's looking at. She's lumped down as she became sad as it was hopeless to make a proper expression in real life, and she should just stick to drawing. He apologizes for making her feel this way and offer her to buy a drink as a form of apology as she scribbles away. Kirwa-san wanted strawberry milk, to which he got her, which we cut back to him judging her manga art and getting his opinion on the matter. He expressed himself that the whole setting with the gods and objects are interesting, and overall the art looked good for what the situation is. He goes in depth to the whole manga as the scene of the knife cutter god she is drawing it would be more alive, like if it was moving. He got the idea from his friend as he comments on how intense or depressing it is, and it's the action for those characters that attract manga fans when they read something. Kirwa-san is overjoyed as she found this advice to be really helpful as she holds his hands tightly. She wouldn't be able to realize this any sooner by herself, and praises him for having a keen eye as she wants to correct this the next time. He became embarrassed due to her holding his hands and pointed it out to her. As she looks down, she realizes she did something embarrassing and she apologizes for holding his hand. He realized all along she could make a normal face even if the situation calls for it. After this, he is glad to be able to help her, and that ended our interaction between the two of them. After finishing the artwork, we cut into him as his friend wonders why he is glued into his screen phone lately. He finds him reading manga as he recently picked up a new hobby. His friend also pointed out that he has been hanging out with Kirwa-san after school and wonders why. He pushed the idea again onto him as he smirks and makes fun of him. He looked flustered and his friend realized. Kirwa-san entered the classroom and decided to leave them alone, being the best wingin as he gave space with their lovey-dovey session. Upon being alone, the two sat in silence and in awkwardness as he became flustered hearing his friend earlier, and that this made the situation uncomfortable him as he thinks of their situation. With this knowledge, he feels unnecessarily self-conscious. He got surprised as Kirwa-san called out to him. She explains that he doesn't need to keep her company all day every day as she could do this by herself. As this was the normal before they ever did this, Kirwa-san overheard their conversation earlier with his friend as he was being invited to hang out but couldn't because of her. She made him her accomplice but doesn't have to feel tied down. He doesn't need to feel obligated to her, as to begin with. It was her all alone by herself, and he should also voice out his opinion and wants as well in their relationship. Although as they are friends for now or more like acquaintances, he blurts out that he likes being with Kirwa-san, which made her confused as she flustered a bit, stating what kind of nonsense he is spouting about. He also didn't understand what nonsense he is saying, but he explains that seeing her filled him with energy, basically a confession at this point. He embarrassingly said that he kinda enjoys the time they spent together all the time. And if it doesn't bother her, could she let him stay after school with her and would like to watch her draw her manga. She ultimately is a person that can't focus, constantly being watched, but if he is willing to talk about her manga with sometimes, she wouldn't mind, and that she would feel happy if he stayed and get to know more of her, as she explains with a face using her fingers that she is smiling and basically answering him yes, that he could spend time with her. This made him eager to learn, reading that face of her, and understand her expressions more or soon enough, as this made him happy upon hearing he could stay and watch her drew manga, thus ending our loving story as a boy got captured by a yandere who can't act like one as they enjoy the youth having one another through their hobby. This made Kirwa-san and him became more closer as their daily life includes one another and are happy together. Although they didn't became officially a couple yet, but I'm hoping to ship them together and be married, having 5 kids and living a long joyful life. The end. I hope you get your happy ending to peace out. Which we cut into another one-shot manga about a little sister hating her older brother but changed her attitude after one day finding out they're not blood related. The older broth always presume his little sister to hate him in a way he doesn't understand as they are blood related, which he always interact with her sister, but she always seemed hostile and negatives towards him, as her attitude and mood around him is bad. But one day their parents had them sit down and announce to them, revealing their relationship as brother and sister to be not real and they are not blood related. This shocked the little sister, letting out a small laugh under her breath as she has been probably waiting for this circumstances. 1 week later, after finding out they are not blood related, the little sister acted differently, being mad at him for being late and going home, as he promised to do so after school to spend time with her, as she has been waiting for a while. As they talked, she suddenly noticed a smell coming from him, which she noticed is something different. The sister became a yandere with dark eyes as she smells another stench of a woman in him. She questions who did he met and was it a woman, and is it because of that she is late? Thought scared to answer. She wants him to honestly give an explanation and not be buried underground, as she is a bit scary even though she started liking him more. Which is the end of our video. I hope you like it, and sorry for adding a filler one shot as this have been a waste to not include.